Hi everybody, welcome back on another technical demo around the Quarkus application. In this demo, I'm going to showcase how to maximize the throughput the Quarkus application of the RESTEasy Reactive. The recent Quarkus 1.10 release announced the fantastic way to maximize throughput the Quarkus application. As you probably guessed, this demo is more of a new JAX-RS implementation that which is based on the Vertex layer, which means it's a fully reactive capability, while also being very tightly integrated with the Quarkus and consequently moving a lot of frame-specific work, for example, annotation scanning and a meta model generation for building time. So what should we care for developer standpoint? The simple answer is you can continue to leverage the widely used and very powerful JAX-RS APIs to expose the REST layer for your Microsoft application. And also, you can have a significant improvement in the maximum throughput the application can achieve. So your Quarkus application should also start slightly faster and consume really less memory. So there are more benefits you can have with the RESTEasy Reactive capability. I'm going to talk a little bit more about what kind of benefit you can have with this functionality after this demo. Let's jump into the demo. Okay, here's my Quarkus application, getting started to expose your simple RESTful APIs. When you go to PalmXML, you can find this application built on Quarkus RESTEasy to expose your RESTful API. For example, hello, the REST endpoint, and this application already implement a CDI injection with the parameter return output code like hello plus your name as a parameter, and this we have pass parameter annotation to pass down. And let's try to run this application using Maven plugin command line Quarkus dev mode because we're gonna keep changing our application code for using RESTEasy Reactive. As you can see here, the CDI and the RESTEasy already installed as your feature, and to access endpoint, and then you can find hello, and then we're gonna have another endpoint to exit the greeting with the parameter name Daniel. So just hello Daniel, just like we expect as a normal hello world application. Okay, so let's go back to IDE tool and change this application to use RESTEasy React. In order to do that, pretty easy stuff. Just change the artifact dependency, RESTEasy Reactive, and then we don't need to use pass param because one of the beauty of the React RESTEasy Reactive, you don't need to pass param explicitly because the RESTEasy automatically auto wire between your pass name and the parameter name if that is equal. So in this case, we got the same name, so that's why we don't need to pass param. And then just try to exit endpoint, and then you can see the runtime logs. There's no need to restart your RESTEasy because it's a 1.10 Quarkus version, and then this is one of the default feature. Try to endpoint another endpoint with a different parameter, and then we gotta find hello then successfully. Let's try to add another method such as a streaming method to do more reactive application handling. Okay, so I need to get mass and produce the server sent this event, and then the event element type text plain and a new pass parameter like a stream and a count and a name to parameter, and then we're gonna define return type a multi as a part of the built-in capability, and the method name greeting as a streaming, and the parameter count and name because we're gonna repeat the number of count to return output. In order to do that, we need to define another CDI services here. Return code is a simple, the same thing, multi string type, and just a return multi create a form, and the text is duration time. Let's say just 1 second to streaming this application output, and on item transform and streaming format, just go hello and the name, but also the count. So we need to pass down the parameter from our resource file, and then just transform this taking first time based on count. So this will allows you to print out the 10 times, for example, count is equal 10. Okay, let's try to access new endpoint, such as hello and streaming slash, let's say 10 times with my name Daniel, and it takes 10 seconds to output with hello Daniel, just like an event driven reactive application. Pretty cool. Okay, and then try to put in some thread name to make sure this application handled by event loop. So in order to that, we're gonna put in a simple system printout and thread that current thread get name, and then just save a file and then go back to terminal window and then try to access endpoint and greeting and with my parameter and go back to our runtime bound. You can find thread name vertex event loop thread, which means that this application endpoint can be handled and by RESTEasy Reactive. So now you can actually access the RESTEasy Reactive endpoint. You can also make this endpoint RESTful API as a blocking. So with a block annotation and access that endpoint once again and go back to runtime load and you can find the original thread, just like a pull. So, but previously this endpoint processed by event loop. This is how to block your RESTEasy API, not using RESTEasy Reactive, so still simple way to use imperative but also reactive RESTful API implementation in Quarkus framework. Okay, what benefit with the RESTEasy Reactive you can have for developer standpoint? So first of all, the all endpoints are now running on IO thread by default, which means you can use blocking annotation to change that just like you saw in this demo. And also the scoring system, when you run that mode starting up, the application will show you a list of your endpoints along with the performance score telling you why your endpoint is slower than the optimal version. This definitely helps a lot in figuring out how to improve the REST performance. Another benefit is JAX-RS filters definitely require implementing an interface and injecting context object as a field, which is costly and inflexible. Based on our success in the Quarkus build system, filters are now simply annotated methods and any parameter is automatically injected. And new parameter annotation also one of the benefit. You can also so in the demo you don't need to pass param if you your parameter name and the variable name matches. And also there are new annotation to manage your parameter like a REST path or REST query, REST header, and REST form, etc. The simple parameter and the context injection is one of the benefits. With the RESTEasy Reactive, you don't need to even use a pass parameter or even REST pass annotation if your parameter has the same name and the same parameter. And simply you can skip context annotation for all non-context types, which makes it even simpler. A new param annotation are meant to be used instead of just as pass param annotation and the query param annotation because you don't need to specify name. The reason we developed this not to use the same annotation name is to avoid the conflict with the name of JAX-RS or enterprise specification. There are more benefits like a default context type, serial integration, and a per class exception mapper. You can go to find out more detail in the Quarkus.io, the 110 release note. Thank you for watching. If you have more questions around the Quarkus application development, please reach out to me directly or the representative or Red Hat, and we are more than happy to address your question. Have a good rest of the day.